Karma Brands radio station.
Ron Harper is a 5-time NBA champion. But based on last night's NBA draft, what I saw, that pales in comparison to his greatest achievement. And I ain't talking about the number 2 overall pick.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good. Hey. Oh, man. Day 1 of the NBA draft in the books. We're far out from the start of the NFL season. We're far out from the start of training camp. We're going to start today talking a little bit about a little worst to first action. Teams that have done well for themselves in this NFL offseason, that finished last in their division the past year, that have a chance to claim the division crown. I have a very nifty pick, a sharp pick, a savvy pick, and I'll be getting that to you very soon here. It is June 26th. It is a Thirsty Thursday. We have a specialty show tonight at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium at 6 o'clock. Thirsty Thursdays at the Dean. That'll be a lot of fun. And joining me for that and for this is my guy on the other side of the glass, Seatcat, on the ones and the twos. What's up?
Yeah, I took it up with management. I said, I only get to talk to Theo 10 hours out of the week on the air. Get me one more. I'm demanding one more. And they said, fine, but it's got to be at the ballpark. And I said, you think that's a problem with me?
Perfect.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely perfect. Thanks for hooking that up. And whoever hooked up Ron Harper Sr. With his wife, I will say congratulations to you as well. And that's because you got 2 sons in the NBA. That's all true. I'm talking about, Kat.
It takes
that's all
more
I'm talking
than,
about.
You know, it's a group effort.
Yes.
And the Harper household.
The Harper household, and boy, has Ron Harper Sr. done well. He's got his son, Dylan Harper, number 2 overall to the San Antonio Spurs. His other son, I think, is what, Ron Jr.? I don't know. I wasn't looking at him. I was a little tied up on the screen there.
You got something good to say about Rutgers.
Yeah.
You got to take the opportunity to do just that because you oftentimes don't have something good to say about Rutgers.
Right. 2 back-to-back picks out of Rutgers, though. You know, you got – actually, I'm sorry. No. Got that wrong. Because Ace Bailey was supposed to be the number 3 overall pick last night to the Sixers, except he was like, you know what? Philadelphia ain't the city for me. The Sixers, not the squad for the one and only talents of Ace Bailey. I will not work out for you, nor any team atop the NBA draft. It sounds like C-Cat, Ace Bailey, who was by all metrics rated the 3rd best prospect in this draft, really good wing, and that's what you look for in this league, is a really good scoring wing. I heard one Tracy McGrady comp for him. It's crazy. He forced his way out of being picked number 3 overall, shut down all pre-draft workouts in an effort to like Eli Manning the whole deal. And did you see where he ended up going?
The Utah Jazz.
Number 5 overall to the to Salt Lake City, to the Utah Jazz, because Danny Ainge don't give a damn. I know he didn't want to go to Utah.
This wasn't talked about that much leading up into it.
Yeah, because
he just was forcing his way out of a couple of teams, and then he got saddled with a bad result anyway.
Sounds like he wanted to go to the Washington Wizards at 6, and he definitely didn't. So at 3, 4, and 5 were the Sixers, who you would assume is a good situation because you can compete and contend early, but it didn't feel like there was going to be a spot where he can develop as the number 1 star. They already have 2 stars in there. Ace Bailey's looking around like, yo, town's not big enough for the 3 of us. He didn't want to go there. At 4 was the Charlotte Hornets, which LaMelo, I would have thought he would. I mean, that sounds like a decent enough place. I'm sure looking back on it, if he knew the other option would have been the Jazz were definitely picking him, he would have worked out in Charlotte. He would have worked out.
Yeah, we want to hear what Shams had to say about the situation.
Can we get that? I know we're not starting with that. We're not talking about that, but this was intriguing last night as he tried to Eli Manning his way out, but he realized his last name is not Manning. It's Bailey, and that don't carry the same weight in the NFL. Maybe in the coffee game. Here's Shams Charania, ESPN NBA insider, giving some insight on the whole Ace Bailey saga.
Ace Bailey did not work out for a single NBA team. He's the only U.S. prospect that declined to do so. this was not one of his preferred destinations, Utah. He was hoping to get to either Washington, New Orleans, or Brooklyn. The Utah Jazz selected Ace Bailey knowing that this is a little bit of a stunner, but if you think about it, this is an outstanding place for Ace Bailey. They have a wide open wing situation. They have a huge need for a star in his mold. They have an outstanding coaching staff. I think Ace Bailey is going to recover from this very quickly and realize that he landed in an outstanding situation with the Utah Jazz. It just shows you there's only so much an agent can control in this process. If an NBA team decides they're going to take Ace Bailey, that's exactly what happened. And
the NBA is really good at creating disgruntled stars. Yeah. Why would you want to take a finished product in terms of disgruntled star? Like, let our organization make you dislike us. Oh, we don't want to take someone who already dislikes our organization and is unhappy to be here from night one in his NBA career. That's lunacy. Lunacy. How much power the NBA players have that you would make a decision to draft somebody, no matter how good they are, that from day one, you'll have to win him over.
Danny Ainge, this is such a Danny Ainge move. Danny Ainge don't give a damn. Danny Ainge looked at Ace Bailey, and he looked at everybody else that was left in that draft to be picked, and he said, man, that is great value. And that is a excellent player who has an elite ceiling. And I can't blame the Jazz for making the pick. The reason why you tank and sell your producing assets, and when you have players playing at all their best players are on the market. The Jazz every year since Ainge has stepped in that door, because they realize you have to build through the draft. You have to do the Oklahoma City Thunder thing, and if you're going to go about that route, the number one priority in the draft, in free agency, and in trades is acquiring more value. And there was no more valuable pick to make than Ace Bailey. He could still get traded. He could be mad all he wants. And you know what Danny's going to tell him? Hey, you don't want to be here? Then play some good basketball, become an NBA All-Star, and we'll ship you off to whatever city that pays the most for you.
Yeah, but we've seen players in the NBA get their way by not playing.
That ain't happening. It's his rookie deal. He has to prove himself first, you know? Like, yes, we've seen that happen, but with who? Jimmy Butler, James Harden?
Yeah, but you talk about great value at that spot. Why wouldn't Utah trade? Because the hand was shown that if Utah tried to trade that pick away, that everyone knows, like, wait a second. It's because
he doesn't want to be there.
Exactly.
The value of you can't, if you trade the pick away, number one, you're folding to his demands, and that team that is acquiring the pick knows it, so you're going to get less value. Whereas if you draft him, I bet you, and I haven't seen any of it yet, I want to look into it a little bit here, but I bet you all of the noise coming out of Utah is like, oh, we are invested in him. We think he's going to be a great player. He's going to be a Utah Jazz for life. Like, we like Ace Bailey here. And out of Ace Bailey's camp, to be honest with you, the smart move for them would be to also say we are 10 toes down. He did say he did not expect the Jazz to pick him, but you got to put on a show as if this is a match made in heaven. We're going to make it work. It was a surprise, but like, let's lock in, because all that's doing is accruing his value. It's making his value go higher.
So I followed the draft on my phone, social media, did not watch it on television. I instead listened to it on ESPN 106.3 when I was in the car. Were teams passing on Ace Bailey, and that's why he didn't go where he wanted to go? Or did the Jazz just take him early?
Everybody expected, because Ace Bailey said he would not go to the Jazz, the Hornets, or the Sixers. Everybody expected him to fall to 6 and go to the Wizards. All of the expert mock drafts had the Wizards getting him at number 6 because apparently that was one of his preferred destinations. So nobody technically passed on him, but the Hornets looked at Con Kneppel out of Duke and said, you know what, he's the best shooter in this draft. The NBA is a league that thrives on shooting now more than ever. Let's just get him. We can't risk having to figure out whether or not, because the difference between the Jazz and the Hornets actually have a team that you would want to start competing for the playoffs very soon. LaMelo Ball is your franchise player. You want to be able to surround him with talent that you feel like he can actually grow with and compete with. It would be bad to bring in a malcontent, which is what Ace Bailey would be. The Jazz don't have anything going right now outside of a really good coaching staff, quote unquote, because I'm not expert enough to know, but that's what people say. A savvy GM and savvy front office, and also a hell of a lot of assets. And to them, they look at Ace Bailey as an asset.
Think this works out?
Yeah, it would.
Very early in the situation, of course, day after the draft. But you think, this was the right move to make?
It was the right move. It's the move I would have made. You can't be a coward in those kind of situations. And you know what? If he wants out, you can still trade him for at least equal value. It was the best move to make for the Jazz. I get why the Hornets didn't do it. We know why the Sixers didn't do it. They can't afford to have something like that into their locker room when they already got one dude podcasting more than he's playing. They got another dude who has literally sat out more games. He's earned more. Joel Embiid, NBA MVP, has earned more money sitting out with injury than he has actually playing basketball games in his career. Like, that's an actual stat.
So they cannot risk adding a potential locker room cancer or general downer.
They got the opposite in VJ Edgecombe. He is my new favorite player out of this draft based on his draft profile. The Baylor guard, we learned yesterday that he actually spent some time in West Palm Beach at some school that I'm still sure we made up, like Victoria High School or something. I don't know what the hell it was.
Victory Tradition.
I
know the first word
Academy.
Right. The second name might be wrong.
VJ Edgecombe. Can we get to that too? Before I want to do our first to worst stuff, our worst to first stuff. We're going to get to that. I promise.
Plenty of time.
Come on, good people. You know what time it is. Theoretically speaking. Now, I will tell you, as we're talking a little NBA draft here, we have a very special guest scheduled to appear. I'm going to say it once. I ain't going to say it again until he pulls up. Dusty May.
Mm-hmm.
In Dusty We Trusty, Mayday, Mayday. On this Thursday, Dusty May, head coach of the Michigan Wolverines and formerly head coach of the FAU Owls that marched all the way to the Final Four in 2023, and I was with them alongside them for that journey. Dusty May is pulling up on us in about 15, 20 minutes, so stick around for that. Just take a listen to VJ Edgecombe because I want y'all to understand, not only did the Sixers at number 3 end up getting a guard who was the most explosive athlete in this draft, very driven, a two-way guard. He's not necessarily the best shooter, and I think that's the number one part of his game he's going to have to develop if he wants to be a guy that can play alongside Maxey and the bunch, whatever else they build in Philly. But the dude is so thoroughly driven, and you can hear it in his post-draft interview with Taylor Rooks on NBA TV.
You said you saw the emotions on your mom's face. What were the moments you remember most about just the way your mom poured into you throughout your life and your career?
Man, them long nights, I'm telling you, I lived off a generator. I ain't had no electricity. I lived off a generator for 7 years. Man, seeing what she had to go through to feed us, man, it's crazy. It's crazy, but I don't even know, man. My mind everywhere right now, man.
That dude, you're not going to have to worry about whether or not he's giving it his all. You're not going to have to worry about whether or not he's spending his off seasons trying to get better, to continue to build himself to be a better asset for the team, to be better at winning basketball games, and also to help provide for his mother. Like that dude right there, he plays with a level of attitude that you can tell. He plays like a dude that, I'm not sure where the electricity's coming from next. I love me some VJ Edgecombe. My favorite player out of this draft now.
Yeah, my takeaway from the 30 seconds of audio from VJ Edgecombe was a little bit more maybe tone deaf, because I was thinking, like, wait a second, 7 years on a generator. It's a lot of fuel. I feel like the margins there, you hook it up to an outlet somewhere and share the electricity bill.
I would like a follow-up on that.
It's very insensitive, and it's very messed up on the best day of his life. But that was my reaction, which is pretty messed up. It tells you a lot about me.
7 years on a generator.
A lot of gas.
Yeah, how are you fueling the generator?
Maintenance on the said generator.
How many generators do you think it was that Edgecombe had to use? Because you're right. I don't think a generator is lasting you 7 years if that is the literal main source of energy.
Right. If you're running it 24/7.
See, I'm not a generator expert, and there's a lot of people that are, honestly. Like, there's a lot of people that are really heavy into it. There's guys that brag about the size and strength of their generators and whatnot. And there's really,
especially around here,
really big
hurricane season. Oh,
yeah.
The guy that has a generator tells you he has a generator.
Those things are loud.
The guy who has a generator chastises you for not having a generator.
Those things are loud.
I started one at the Boca Bowl last year. Because that was our source of power to get our remote broadcast going.
Yeah.
Never used a generator in my life ever.
Right. You're not a real man.
People turned to me and said, all right, how are we going to get this on? Turned a knob, pulled the ripcord, got it going on the first try.
It's like a lawnmower.
I've never felt more proud of myself with how handy I was with starting a generator without looking up a YouTube video.
I know VJ Edgecombe knows how to start a generator.
For 7 years.
And he plays with the energy of somebody that literally, I had to get it out of whatever you want to call that substance. A lot of folks say it's the mud. I'm not going to characterize it as that, because the other thing I get uncomfortable with, especially with rappers, is how much they try and downplay what they're like. They be like, I got it out the mud and this, that, and the third, started from the bottom. I'm like, hold on, man. Like,
you wore a uniform to school.
Yeah, and also your parents worked hard for that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't call it the mud. I wouldn't characterize it in that way. I would hate my kids to be saying that one day.
That's a good point.
I remember Michael Irvin talking about how his son was rapping. It started a rap career and was talking about all of the things he had to triumph through. And he like, wait, what? What the hell are you talking about? All right. What the hell are we talking about? I want to talk about worst to first. NFL season is still far out, man. It's still far out.
We're closer to the beginning of the season than we are to the end of last season.
All right, damn it. Let's just do it then.
Take solace in that.
Let's just do it.
Yesterday was the halfway point between Christmas.
How do you know that?
I saw a tweet. Yesterday, there were the same amount of days since Christmas as there were to Christmas.
Wow. You come with the facts that people just somebody was driving up and down 95 right now. Searching for their home.
Exactly. You're on your lunch break right now, or you're driving home from the office because you work early. Bring that nugget with you back to the office either tomorrow or after your lunch break today.
It's a good nugget.
The same amount of days since Christmas and the same as till next Christmas.
Tasty nugget right there.
Yesterday.
Take it with you. That's provided by CCAT. I'm going to give you a nugget here. Did you know, CCAT?
Probably not.
Since the NFL realigned to the 8 4-team divisions back in 2002. So that would be, 23 years ago. 25 different teams have gone from worst to first in their division over a single year. So what does that mean? That means that you had the worst record in, let's say, the NFC East. And in the next year, you win the division crown and enter the playoffs.
It's over one per year.
Over one a year is the rate we've gotten it at. Now, if I were to ask you, CCAT, did anybody do it last year? Go from worst to first last year. What would be your answer? Off top of the head, worst to first team.
Top of my head, I know some first to worst teams. I don't know any worst to first teams.
The Washington Commanders would have been a pick many people would have said, but it's hard to go worst to first when the first place team wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that was the only reason why the Commanders weren't worst to first. Despite them being at the cellar last year and getting the number 2 pick, they picked Jaden Daniels. They turned everything around with Dan Quinn. They finished 12-5, but they were in the NFC East. And not only did the Eagles win the division, they also won the NFC Championship over the Commanders and went on to win the Super Bowl.
So that tells me if there was nothing last year, then we're due for 2 of them this year.
We absolutely are. We absolutely are. So the last team to ever go worst to first, 2023, the Houston Texans. They went from 3-13-1 in 2002 to 10-7 with an AFC South title. And, of course, what was the main thing that happened for the Texans?
He drafted C.J. Stroud.
Also brought in DeMeco Ryans. Culture change, and everything changed in Houston.
Yeah, they threw a Hail Mary at the tail end of that last place season in order to not get the number 1 overall pick, which would have been Caleb Williams.
No. Bryce Young. Both bad, though, in their first years. Shout out Lovie Smith. You did the Texans a favor there. So now we try and do the one thing that you always get yourself in trouble for in the game of sports content, and that is predict the worst to first team this year in the NFL. I'm going to give you our 8 options to choose from, and I'm going to give you one team you cannot pick. Actually, you know what? Everything's on the board. I'll let everything be on the board for you, but I'm going to give you the team I'm picking. There is one obvious one, and if you're lame if you pick that one. Worst to first here on, theoretically speaking, on this Thirsty Thursday. So here are the last place teams in their division from last season. In the AFC North, the Cleveland Browns. They got to find a quarterback first.
Yeah, they get a lot of options. You know what?
Yeah.
Paralysis of choice.
Yeah.
You got 4 possible starting quarterbacks for the Cleveland Browns.
4 is more than 1. So, in the NFC East, the New York Giants. In the AFC West, the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
That ain't happening.
Run the damn ball.
In the AFC South, the Tennessee Titans. In the NFC South, the New Orleans Saints. Then you have the New England Patriots of the AFC East, the Chicago Bears of the NFC North, and, of course, the San Francisco 49ers of the NFC West that got bit with the injury bug. When I look at teams that could potentially go worst to first, when I look at teams that I would bank on, I would buy low on this offseason coming into 2025, I can't help but stop in Nashville, Tennessee. I can't help but lay my eyes on none other than Cam Ward, the man, the myth, the number 1 overall pick, who is setting the tone, who literally not only set the tone at rookie camp, but then also at mandatory minicamp and at OTAs, lighting Nashville, really like igniting a new fire under the Tennessee Titans fans. I saw what he did as a Miami Hurricane. You saw him at Wazoo slinging the ball around. He started his collegiate career at Incarnate Word. He knows what it's like to step into a new building, set the culture, create a expectation for winning, and also all along the way uplifting those around him. The Tennessee Titans, who were last place in the AFC South last year, they went 3-14, are my favorite pick this year to go from worst to first. CCAT, can you look up their odds on Hard Rock Bet to win the AFC South?
Reading my mind.
Because
the Tennessee Titans, you want to hear it before you make a prediction?
Talk to me.
They are the longest shot to win the AFC South.
Love that.
Plus 750.
Such good value.
Kind of a 3-team race for that division. Colts are at plus 350. Jaguars plus 275. Texans plus 110.
I love the Titans' value there, plus 750 to win the AFC South. It is not going to be easy sledding, but I'll give you 3 strong reasons why the Titans are in prime position to actually take the crown in this division. And number 1 obviously starts with the number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward. Last year, Will Levis was last in the NFL in QBR. Amongst starting quarterbacks, he was 32nd out of 32nd. So even if you're saying you cannot bank on a rookie quarterback being good, despite what we've seen in the past few years, you can't say he ain't going to be the worst player in the NFL. Cam Ward will be an obvious leap from Will Levis when it comes from talent and preparation. So you can rest assured that's going to go in the Titans' favor. That's number 1. Number 2, when I look at the past 3 worst to first teams in the NFL, there's the Texans from 2023. There's the Jaguars in 2022. And there's the Bengals in 2021. All 3 of those teams have direct ties to what the Tennessee Titans situation is this year going into 2025. Here's why. The Texans and Jaguars were both able to do what they did with franchise quarterbacks, if you want to consider Trevor Lawrence that, because they were in a winnable division, which is the AFC South. Why did the Commanders not get it done? Because you have a behemoth in your division. Why were other teams that were bad and then grew over time, like the Detroit Lions, unable to do so? Because you have other big dogs in your division. When I look around at some of the other teams, the competition is too stark atop. The Houston Texans don't scare me like that. The Houston Texans, who last year, one of their 6 losses was at home to the Tennessee Titans against Will Levis in a shootout. The Houston Texans traded away their left tackle, Laramie Tunsil, after having offensive line issues last year. The Houston Texans have a new offensive coordinator coming through the door, and though C.J. Stroud added a couple receivers in the draft, that's not a team that strikes fear into your heart like the Eagles would, like some of the other top dogs, like the Chiefs would. The Texans can be had, and the Titans showed that last year, and they're only getting better this year. So the AFC South is a winnable division. The last 2 times it's happened, it was an AFC South team that went from worst to first. But then you ask me, what the hell did the 2021 Cincinnati Bengals, who made it all the way to the Super Bowl after being last in their division, have to do with this year's Tennessee Titans? And I think you already know the answer there, C-Cat. Who's the head coach for the Titans? Brian Callahan. Who was the offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals in 2021? Brian Callahan. He had a lot to do with the glowing success that Joe Burrow was able to have in his season of 2021, where there was a poor offensive line play, but he designed an offense that helped around that. He also was really good, because his expertise is with the offensive line, of mitigating that poor O-line play and still having an offense that is ready to rock. I can't tell you how much confidence I have in this, even without the stats, because I love me some Cam Ward, and I love what they've built out there. I love his options at receiver and his weapons and whatnot. I can't tell you how confident I already was, but the more I looked into it, Brian Callahan has done this before. The AFC South has had the last 2 worst to first winners, and the Tennessee Titans also, CCAP, my third point, have the 4th easiest schedule in the NFL next year. The Titans are primed to make a run at the division, and I would at the least bank on them making the playoffs. Let me read off their schedule. They start the season at the Broncos. That's a tough one.
0-1.
Next game is at home against the Rams.
0-2.
Then you have a 3-game run here where you're going to play the Colts, the Texans, and the Cardinals.
That defines the season right there. You can go 3-2, you can go 0-5.
This is where you're going to have to make your hay. Because this is all happening before the bye with a rookie quarterback. But after you're done with that, let me read off this next 3-game stretch for you. Because this is where it gets easier. Raiders, Patriots, Colts.
Even other team trying to go worst to first in there.
The Pats might be good. The Titans could be better.
Same with the Raiders, actually.
After that, you got the Chargers at home, which is going to be a tough out, but that's going into a bye week. And coming out of that bye for the Titans, and I'm not going to go what I think is going to happen in each of these games. I'm just reading it off to you. Coming out of the bye, you have the Texans at home, who you beat on the road last year without Cam Ward. Then you have the Seahawks. You get 2 games against the Jaguars, 1 to close the season. And you have the Browns, Niners, Chiefs, Saints. Niners and the Chiefs are the only two teams I'm afraid of in that stretch. In an 8-game stretch to end the season after a bye, the Niners and the Chiefs are the only 2 games where I would say that's definitively a loss. The Titans have a really good shot at not just a winning record, but winning the AFC South, and I don't think we can just assume progression from the Tennessee or from the Houston Texans in that division. I'm sorry to say it. Cade jumped in the YouTube chat. He's a little worried. He's a little nervous. He's talking about how Laramie Tunsil should have left. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be missing him. Titans are going to win the AFC South. They're going worst to first. I'm going to get yours after the break. We also have Dusty May on the other side as well. Sorry for eating up all the time. I know you had one you really want to get to.
Now you think Dusty May will care about it? We'll keep him on hold while I tell them.
Of course you will. Of course you will. We're going to get him on to the Baptist Health Hotline, actually. We'll have Dusty May on the Baptist Health Hotline. I got carried away.
No, you shouldn't apologize.
I got carried away.
We're going to get mine at some point during the show.
We'll get
I'm not going to do mine with Dusty May on hold.
Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care is a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit BaptistHealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit BaptistHealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting BaptistHealth.net/ortho. Dusty May, head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, and also a guy who has a couple of kids, a couple of former student athletes who might end up getting drafted tonight in day 2 of the NBA draft. He joins us today to talk about them, as well as the moment last night he heard one of his Michigan Wolverines hear that his name's called. It's going to be great stuff. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Every Thursday is a Thirsty Thursday at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. Membership is just $100, and all fans 21 and up get a ticket to every Thursday game and a drink koozie, which unlocks weekly drink specials. Learn more at RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen. Tonight, it's night 2 of the NBA draft. The picks are deeper, the names are harder to spell, and someone's future G League MVP is getting picked. We go live at 7:30. Catch all the action here on ESPN 106.3 because the curiosity is overwhelming.
Introducing DQ Grill & Chill's new sauced and tossed buffalo chicken strips. A basket of 100% all-white meat seasoned chicken strips, now being served with blue cheese or ranch dressing dips. The blizzard of the month is the Strawberry Cheesecake Blizzard, a new flavor for the summer, featuring a creamy blend of strawberry cheesecake pieces in vanilla soft serve, dipped in strawberry topping. DQ Grill & Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Elevate your game, elevate your experience. Discover the Club at Lost Lake. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today.
Mike Rizzo here with the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management program. Arguably the most successful and recognized team in the NBA, the Los Angeles Lakers, have officially been sold. $10 billion. The Buss family has agreed to sell a majority stake of the Los Angeles Lakers to businessman Mark Walter. $10 billion. Let's rewind back to 1979, where Dr. Jerry Buss purchased the Los Angeles Lakers, the Forum, and the Los Angeles Kings for $67.5 million. The Buss family, great players and coaches, made the Lakers what they are today, but it's a new chapter. This is the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management program. Accelerate your career in sports with the program committed to developing top-notch executives and managers with a focus on the job placement for students and graduates. The FAU MBA in Sport Management program.
It's Theo Dorsey, and I'm feeling hot, hot, hot. Temperatures are up, but your water shouldn't be full of mystery floaties. Culligan's got your back with water testing and reverse osmosis systems to keep things clean, cool, and crisp this summer. And get this, you can try it for just $10 a month. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and stop drinking who knows what. Visit Culligan.com today to schedule your free water test.
Hey, Culligan man!
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more do. Hey!
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Grant & Sons, Inc.
The weather is heating up and summer is here. Stay cool with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can take advantage of 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong in sports, not in your home. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS is the name you can trust since 2006. Visit EDSIsYes.com today. Game day comfort starts now. Don't sweat the small stuff.
And with the 27th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the Brooklyn Nets select Danny Wolf from the University of Michigan.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Somewhere amidst that crowd, somewhere in the ether, not just fans rejoicing and applauding, also a familiar face and voice to Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast, and really a national superstar, especially in the sphere of college basketball. Dusty May was applauding as well as we hear Danny Wolf goes to the Nets 27th overall last night in the first round of the NBA draft. Dusty May, the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines,
formerly the FAU men's basketball head coach. And today, he's just our buddy talking on Theoretically Speaking. Dusty, man, how's it been?
Hey, Theo, it's been great, man. It's been a blast.
Man, I'm so happy for you and your success your first year at Michigan, and I'm also happy that you were able to see off one of your stars from the tournament that we saw you make the run into the Sweet 16, go into the NBA. What was that moment like for you? I saw what it was like for Danny, his family, and his brother specifically, who was ugly crying on TV. Were you ugly crying like that as well?
No, I feel bad. His brother's Jake, and to be honest, Danny is very driven. And it was a tough night for him, just waiting and waiting and waiting. And his brother Jake actually held it together. We were laughing at the table that we had such positive vibes, despite being a little bit there longer than we thought he would be. And then as soon as his name was called, though, Jake let out some emotion. And I think it was just unfair for the one guy that really held it in the road for several hours that day. Got caught on camera, but it was a very cool moment. That's one thing when you see these guys, especially the international players, how appreciative they are, how grateful they are, and the humility that they accept wherever they're drafted with was impressive. So, yeah, it's just really cool to be a part of, to see so many of those guys achieve their dreams.
I absolutely loved it, though, because it's showing the raw emotion of how much it mattered to them. I could also tell you for sure it was one of those production moments where they saw Jake, you said his name is, with that face, and they were like, we've got to show it, because some of these guys are too cool for school. Clearly, Wolf, his family, and you all weren't, so I appreciate that. Happy for him. For you as a head coach, is that your first time hearing one of your players' name called in the first round?
As a head coach, yes. I'm new to this level, and obviously when you're at a Michigan or a place like this, it happens more frequently, typically. And so, it especially when it was unexpected. Danny came to us, and we never would have dreamed a year ago that he would be in this position. We thought potentially after next year he could be in this in a similar situation, but never did we dream that would happen this quickly. And so, yeah, that makes it even cooler. But it helps in recruiting. As a coach, the coaching staff, there's certain things that you have to do before you could be at the biggest tables with the best recruits. So this was one step for us selfishly, but we certainly didn't want to hijack his moment. That was it was all about Danny, his family, his work, and then also his teammates, because without the sacrifice of them and all of his coaches throughout the years, he wouldn't be where he is. And then obviously his support system is as strong as there is.
Dusty May joining us here on Theoretically Speaking on this Thursday ahead of day 2 of the NBA draft. You've already heard one of your players' names called. Another guy who is a familiar face to this area, Vlad Golden, big man now at Michigan with you, is expecting to hear his name called in the second round. What kind of questions, what is it like fielding questions from teams who are, deciding on whether or not they want to make him the newest member of their organization?
Well, when you have guys like we've had, it's fun because you get to tell their story, and you're not trying to hide anything or cover up anything or embellish who they are. You simply you paint a real clear picture of who they are and what they are, and usually that's enough. So I think Vlad's going to hear his name called. I think Elijah's going to hear his name called, and then I think John L. has an outside chance to hear his name called tonight as well. So South Florida should be proud of this year's draft.
Of course, you naming Elijah Martin and Janelle Davis, the two of the other guys that was with you at FAU that made the run to the Final Four, a shot away from making it to the national championship game there in Houston. This means so much to this area to not only experience that alongside you all, but now see y'all's career as they blossom in other places. But what was it like for you as well, watching Elijah Martin, who likely hears his name called tonight, but he also was able to hoist the big trophy, in the national championship game with the Florida Gators?
Well, just extremely happy for him, and to see him continue his growth and development, and to do that on the biggest stage again in a completely different environment. He went into that program and he imposed his will and put his stamp on it. So I became a fan of those guys. Obviously, I would have loved to coach that group forever. If I could coach 20 years, coach all of them for 20 years. But realistically, things change in the new climate. This is the new normal. So I was just a fan of all those guys, and to see even the emergence of Brennan Laurier and Trey Carroll, guys who sacrificed on those really good teams. and sacrifice minutes on those really good teams, to see them have their own individual success and team success this year, it was a lot of fun on all fronts.
When you see that happening like now today, I remember back in 2023 when FAU made that run from Columbus to New York, and you're every step of the way people doubted that team, and now there's so much credit not just being given to you, but the very players that were on that roster. Do you think that people are going to think less or more of your coaching ability, though, because you're about to have 4 former pros on that team? Y'all weren't the underdogs or Cinderellas. You had some pro talent on that squad.
Well, I don't think there's ever been a team play that late in the NCAA tournament without really good players. So, without a doubt, the lion's share of that credit should go to those guys and the work they put into it. Look, we get to coach for 30, 40 years if we can do it well enough to keep jobs. And these guys have a short window, and I'm just proud to be associated with that group. But I do think we created a learning environment, a healthy environment for them to be their absolute best and develop. And so, yes, we had a small part in all that success, but the credit should always go to the players.
Knew you would do that, as Dusty May does, giving the credit to the guys out there on the court that make the plays for you. Question, man, what's the setup like tonight? Are y'all back there for the draft, watching it from home? What's the Dusty May setup to watch round 2 tonight?
No, actually, I'm traveling with a group, and recruiting period tomorrow. So we're trying to find the next pros, the next guys that get drafted tonight. But I know Elijah's in Brooklyn. John L's back with his family in Gary. Vlad's in Florida with some family, with his fiance's family. So everyone's with their loved ones. Everyone has a different way to go about this. So it's going to be fun just watching those guys. And to be honest, it's going to be a positive either way, because I know a lot of teams like those guys. So if they happen to not get drafted, they're probably going to be in a better situation to choose where they have a greater chance of making a roster or being with a team long term.
Question for you: What is it like there at the draft when you are watching some of the prospects go off the board, and you know that your guy Wolf has the talent, has all the ability, and you likely have spoken to a lot of these teams as he's worked out for them? What is it like for you in those moments? How are you speaking to him to make sure he keeps his mind right as he's waiting to hear his name called?
Well, first, this was my rookie year with this, so I don't want to speak like a seasoned vet, but we had a good idea of which teams really liked Danny, the ones that had been in and done some homework, and we just knew there was a group of teams that we thought. And then there were even 2 teams that we were very confident that he would not get past those teams. So we felt like there was a really nice security blanket, which should have eliminated stress. But it's just going through it, and that 5 minutes between each draft pick is agonizing. But some of the picks, there might be 2 or 3 picks in consecutive order where you're not going to be in play at those picks for a number of reasons. And then there's other teams trying to trade up to get you, but if they're able to make a trade, then they're going to draft you. If they can't make the trade, then you're off the table there. So there's a lot of moving parts. I think the agents have the stressful job as anyone because they're trying to stay composed, but they're also trying to get feedback. So as far as what I was telling Danny, that 1 year ago I was arguing with his parents about if he was going to be able to play more than 15 or 20 minutes a game for us in Michigan. And now he's sitting up there, wondering which team he's going to be drafted by in the first round of the NBA draft. So just take a step back, have some perspective. But, he handled it with grace and humility like all those guys did last night. It was just impressive to see their life work come down to that one pivotal moment. It's not really one moment, but it seems like it. And so, like I said, we just wanted to be there to support and be out of the way, but also, put Michigan in that spotlight.
And lastly, from you, Dusty May, I'm just curious. I mean, how often? I know that you're further removed from it. You've had a full first season at Michigan where you guys were great, made the Sweet 16, went 27-10, won the Big Ten tournament. But I'm just curious, how often do people still ask questions about that magical FAU Final Four run, which I'm sure there's going to be like 8 documentaries out of it, especially as we see these guys go off to the pros and see you do great in the maize and blue. Just how often are you asked about that and speak on those days in Boca Raton?
Well, I think I was asked probably 20, 25 times last night. I feel like everywhere I go, I run into people that live in Boca or South Florida, and Michigan has a really close connection to Boca and South Florida. It seems like there's a lot of people. For our basketball camp, there were several South Florida families that brought their kids up. There are several families that we became close with during our time there that would come up and watch a game during the year. So it's frequent, but FAU means so much to all of us. Most of our staff was there. Obviously, Vlad, our families. I mean, my sons went to high school there. I mean, FAU is, I'm from Indiana, but FAU feels just as much home. Boca Raton community feels just as much home as anywhere else. And my oldest son, Jack's still in South Florida, so we still have a lot of ties, and we're still really connected with most of the people at FAU and follow all the sports and programs closely and can't believe how much they continue to grow and become a national brand.
Absolutely, and we're loving every second of it, and we appreciate your part in that journey because certainly what y'all did in 2023 helped proliferate all of this. Again, Dusty May joining us here. Congratulations on the success. Congratulations on that contract extension, and also good luck to all of the guys you're tied to that's getting drafted. Every time I talk to you, it's a new contract extension, man.
I tell the story. Brian White, after our first year at FAU, he extended us after the first year, and I told that's something that as a coach you're very appreciative of, because it's not as if we set the world on fire that first year. We started off well, had some adversity, but that was a big part of us being able to make decisions long term because we had job security. We could always make decisions based on what was best for the program and its long term growth. And so very grateful for that. And also, hey, man, congrats on all your success. I see your face and hear your voice a lot. So that's a good sign when you're in the media.
That's love, Dusty. I appreciate that. And also, just when we hang up here, just send me the number to your agent. And I'll look, I'll get him to work some deals on my behalf, too.
Let's do it. I appreciate you having me on.
Thanks, Dusty. That is Dusty May, head coach of Michigan basketball following his first season, marching straight through into the Sweet 16, Big Ten tournament champions. But, of course, here in South Florida, we know him from the 2023 FAU Final Four run. Tonight we'll likely see Vlad Golden from that FAU team get his name called. He played this past year with Michigan, the 7-footer. He has such great poise, such an elite level prospect. He's going to be a steal in the second round for somebody tonight. Elijah Martin, who we saw win the national championship with the Florida Gators. He'll hear his name called. And we'll see about John L. Davis as well. He played this last year for Calipari at Arkansas. And if you know anything about coaches or players that have gone through Calipari as guards, tends to work out in the league. To work out.
Right, for sure.
That was Dusty May there, former FAU coach and Michigan men's basketball coach, signed through 2030.
It's interesting. Michigan is kind of a tweener job in terms of, is that a final stop for everybody? Or there's not too many jobs above Michigan in terms of basketball.
Yeah, no, it's weird.
You almost automatically resort to blue bloods.
That is a final stop, though. That is.
Right, it feels like
it's
it.
a
That's what I was
destination
trying to say.
job, yeah.
But I mean, if Duke comes calling, you're going to answer the phone for Duke.
True.
That's what I'm saying. Like the amount of jobs that you would definitely take over Michigan is a very short list.
So, and I think also there's the ties thing, right? Because he has those original ties to Indiana, and it's like that might be something that's heavier in his heart he would never admit to. But like Michigan feels like one of those jobs, plus the fact that after 1 year, that was a really good year, 27-win year, they already extended him through 2030, adding, I believe, a reported $1 million more per year on top of his contract. A place like Michigan is going to keep a really good basketball coach. That's like he won't even – Duke would have to do a lot to pry him away.
Yeah, and you talk about that, the money always has to talk.
Yeah.
So it has to be a program and a school and a university that has a whole lot of boosters and a whole lot of money made. And Michigan is one of those places.
Michigan has stupid money.
Right, because you would never have thought before last offseason that Calipari would leave Kentucky for Arkansas.
Right.
But I mean, the money talks. The money talks. That Walmart cash is real deal.
Let me tell you something. If you, man, I took a job interview in Arkansas early in my TV career, and I'm over here thinking like, it was in Fayetteville, Arkansas too. That's really where the money is. And I'm over here thinking like, Fayetteville, Arkansas, like, what we got going here? I pull up in the city, and they're showing me certain parts of it, and they talking about all these big wigs that run stuff down there, and I met a couple people, and I'm like, oh my God. You would have thought that was miniature Palm Beach Island.
Really?
kind of motion they had out there.
Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Because it's not
The
just
Dubai
them.
of the South.
Yeah, I think they got like Tyson out there as well. It's a couple other mega corporations that you would never assume were running business out of Fayetteville, Arkansas. So,
Well, that's what's happening in BYU right now. Like, the
What's
money's
happening there?
talking. So, like, they're getting big recruits to BYU and I think their coach got a lot of money, too.
in basketball, though, right? Just
Yes.
basketball. Yeah. They went and got Pope.
Yes.
Mark Pope.
Mark Pope, BYU?
Yeah. Oh, no, Pope left.
Yeah, exactly.
He went to Kentucky. I'm tripping. So who was the guy that they went and stole? What I do know is they got the number one recruit in the nation last year who's going to be coming out next year.
So, this is football. Top 5 quarterback Ryder Lyons committed to BYU.
They got
Over
football money
finalists.
too?
Yes, over Oregon and USC. He picked BYU.
We have to figure out where the hell where that BYU money is coming from.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people
'Cause you
around.
Like, is it the church?
With your broke ass.
Is it the church giving them? Who's giving them the money? What's the industry out there about BYU?
Provo. That's the only thing I know about BYU.
We're going to figure that out in the break. We got to figure that out in the break. On the other side, we do get to a get around, and we have another special guest for you. The voice of the 305, Jonathan Zaslow, is actually in the house.
We've got a big fat argument to hash out live on the airwaves. We might have to use the dump button. It might get nasty. It might get ugly.
It will get
Viewer
nasty.
discretion is advised, but you're not going to want to miss this.
It will get nasty. It will get nasty. He took a break out of his national show to come here and talk with us, and immediately we took the gloves off and started getting after him.
Right.
So we're going to have to finish this on air.
Mhm. Yeah, we're walking past where he's doing his current radio show and did the throat slash. He said, it's coming 3 o'clock. Better watch yourself.
It's over with. It's Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
As market dynamics change, the quality of service you receive from your accounting firm shouldn't. Anshin Accountants and Advisors take the time to get to know you and your unique circumstances to help resolve complex issues and develop innovative tax and accounting solutions tailored to meet your goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner eager for a strategy to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver where others can't. Visit anchin.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, recalculating what's possible.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in. We begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Mike Rizzo here with the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management program. Arguably the most successful and recognized team in the NBA, the Los Angeles Lakers, have officially been sold. $10 billion. The Buss family has agreed to sell a majority stake of the Los Angeles Lakers to businessman Mark Walter. $10 billion. Let's rewind back to 1979, where Dr. Jerry Buss purchased the Los Angeles Lakers, the Forum, and the Los Angeles Kings for $67.5 million. The Buss family, great players and coaches, made the Lakers what they are today, but it's a new chapter. This is the Sports Business Minute presented by the FAU MBA in Sport Management program. Accelerate your career in sports with the program committed to developing top-notch executives and managers with a focus on the job placement for students and graduates. The FAU MBA in Sport Management program.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Elevate your game, elevate your experience. Discover the Club at Lost Lake. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Ah, man. Just saw some news. I'm sick to my stomach, dog. But instead of just chilling on that, C-Cat, how about this? I'm going to tell you a little something about the Boca Bowl, then we're going to get on the get-around. Is that cool?
That's good for me.
2025 Boca Raton Bowl is kicking off. It's 12th year this year.
Yeah.
2 days ahead of Christmas, Tuesday, December 23rd.
You remember when you were 12?
Do I remember when I was 12? Yes. I was in 7th grade or 8th grade. No, I don't remember when I was 12. But it'll be Tuesday, December 23rd at 2 p.m. at FAU Stadium. The game is going to air on ESPN. Matter of fact, when I was 12, I was on the Southwest Celtics. I was balling. That was an AAU team. It's two of the biggest and best teams from the group of five. They're going to battle it out for their shot at the title. For more information, go to BocaRatonBowl.com. That's BocaRatonBowl.com. Or you can follow along on Twitter at Boca Bowl or on Facebook, Facebook.com/Boca Bowl for more updates. The 2025 Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd at FAU Stadium. That's right. We was balling. Southwest Celtics, 6th place in the nation one year. Where's it at? There you go. Get around.
I get around. What you mean you don't know? I get around.
Yes, Sirski. It's where we hit the hottest headlines all across the globe in sports, not including what I did as a basketball savant at 12 years old. Where are we going first?
Next stop.
We're going to take a trip down south. Not that far south, maybe about a 45-minute drive to Plantation, because there is a Target and a Marshalls that have the official Florida Panthers 2025 Stanley Cup merchandise on sale already. It has been 1 week since that stuff has been in stores, and it's already half off as it was on night one.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Specifically, I'm seeing the official Stanley Cup hat for $17.
Ooh.
Whereas when we walked through the store 15 minutes after they hoisted the cup, it was $40.
Is it that same hat?
Yes.
Because I told you I didn't like that hat design that much. Is there anything with a better design on there on sale? Because I would like to check it out.
It's kind of weak. It's just the gray hat, white mesh back, 2025 Stanley Cup champions, and the Florida Panthers logo.
Could have been a better design. That's all I'll say. Like, this is no shade to the Florida Panthers. Love the Florida Panthers. I wish that they had something a little more creative. They have some really great stuff in the Florida Panthers shop at Amaret Bank Arena. And everything I liked in there was not the championship stuff. So that could be part of it.
How many championships does this team have to win to truly be like
the top dogs?
It's just a dog. So they just got to be let inside and be a house pet.
It's the NHL. So what you're really asking is, how does the NHL progress as a league to matter more? Like, I think that's the bigger point of contention in America.
In Boston, they wrap their arms around the Brewers. The Bruins, excuse me.
Yeah, I was about to say the Brewers. Are they strangling them?
They have the parade. They fill up the parade.
Yes, are you kidding me? The Florida Panthers probably had of all of the Stanley Cup champion parades. Yes, the Florida Panthers parade and celebration has been much greater than all of the other stuff I've seen out of the NHL.
Are we going to move on? Or are you going to keep on lining?
Staying on it. I'm staying on it. I'm not talking about
dude.
just the parade itself. We got guys running around, jumping on people's house, drinking coffee with fans. What they're
Florida
doing is
Panthers
way different.
And their celebration is different.
Yes.
That does not mean greater than or bigger than.
That is greater.
It was different.
Personal
it was
connection.
Cool and unique that they went to Elbow Room the night of the Stanley Cup and people anticipated
personal connection with your fans. That is like building traditions that actually are lasting.
The fan
and to be able
that's
to do that in
seat,
South Florida?
The fan that's in seat section 241 that has a personal connection is the same as the fan who has no personal connection, but the butt's in the seat.
Yes.
That's what I would say.
You're saying that they're paying the same amount of money.
Yes.
But they are probably a little bit more pot committed with their emotions. It matters. Personal connection matters.
Okay.
The truth.
Next stop.
Now, the merch being half off is a bad sign.
Yes.
I just think that's a design issue.
You think they just printed too many?
If it looked better, if it looked better, I would have already had some. That's all I'm saying.
Let's go to Cincinnati, Ohio.
Well, let's not.
Well, you know what? I think there's a team there that the mascot growls. It's the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals and local officials have reached a deal to make a $470 million renovation to their stadium. See, that might not sound important, but now that team will definitely be there for the next 11 years.
Good. Keep it as far away from me as possible. I'm allergic to broke. You know what I'm saying? Keep it in Cincinnati. Also, they said that the team and the city agreed to how much of a deal?
$470 million.
How much of that money you think coming from the city?
Probably half at least. That's what I would guess.
I would say at least 400 of it. Bengals
Really?
cheap. Bengals cheap. Bengals are cheap, and Cincinnati is a city that seems like it struggles to stay relevant outside of its major sports teams. So I don't think they can afford to lose the Bengals. And as cheap as the Bengals are, as they don't want to pay their top 2 defenders right now, I would not be surprised if they put the city in a headlock and forced them to open up that wallet. Sorry about the Cincinnati taxpayers, but you're going to have to pay for the Bengals to stay.
Next stop.
Let's go to the Barclays Center. Let's go to Brooklyn because the NBA draft was there last night. Get a load of this reaction from Colin Murray Boyles when he was speaking with Taylor Rooks, was it?
Yeah, this is him talking. So what, can I lead this up first?
Please do.
Colin Murray Boyles,
begging you to.
When he got drafted, I think 9th overall to the Toronto Raptors out of South Carolina, you could see him visibly mouth the F word. Like he was like in a very exasperated way, and he shook his head.
Yeah, people were dissecting that video for the entire night. There wasn't that big of a trade, so when someone is displeased to where they went, that's the headline.
It was clear. So he does that, and then afterwards, Taylor Rooks wants to do a little positive PR for him because I'm sure the Raptors got on the phone with him and was like, hey, this is bad. You cannot do that. That's terrible. So Taylor Rooks, NBA TV, sits down with him afterwards and asks him what that whole reaction was about.
What's the first thing you got to do when you get to Toronto? What's the goal?
We'll get to it.
First thing I got to do when I get to Toronto is post on my Instagram story, put a Drake song in there, and I'm going to add him.
Which song? We know what we're doing?
Nah, don't know yet. I'm going to figure it out.
All right, well, South Carolina.
Got it. So here's what I'll say, and we'll react to the Drake stuff. His response, he told her he was saying like WTF, like, oh my gosh, I'm so surprised. This is great. That was his excuse for mouthing the F word. Yeah, like, oh my God. And then she followed up like, okay, you're going to Toronto. And that was his answer. He said he's going to go there, post an Instagram story, and put a Drake song to it and tag him. That's corny.
That's kind of required, though.
You can.
What's
I'm
a
okay
song
with
that
you.
starts with like running through the sticks with my woes? You know how that goes.
Yeah. I forget what it's called. It's called something outside of what it actually. You would think it's called With My Woes or something. That's corny, man. That was corny. He was engagement baiting right there.
I think he was completely surprised. Like he said, he did not anticipate going to Toronto.
No, I'm talking about saying I'm going to go to the.
I'm
okay
exactly.
with you posting that
he
story.
couldn't think about that question because he didn't think he was going to Toronto.
He didn't even have a song ready. That's how I know he was being disingenuous. He just knows that if you say Drake on TV, you're going to get some clicks. You're going to get some love. Drake might fly him out on Air Drake to come and play some one-on-one hoops with him.
After he's done at Morgan Wallen's stadium show. What happened?
Sell out. All right.
I would have popped for Drake if I was at the Morgan Wallen concert. You have Roger Clemens behind him.
You would have
popped Drake? Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's insane.
Popped?
Yeah, I would have popped. That means popped out of your chair and give a whoa.
Okay, I don't think that's what
it's a wrestling term.
I would have popped for him.
Yes, that's a wrestling term.
All right.
Like when the Stone Cold glass breaks and the crowd goes, whoa. That's a pop.
Okay. Just generally when people say I would have popped for Drake, it just is used in a different vernacular. So I want to make sure you clear that up with the viewing audience, the fans here on Theoretically Speaking. Because I've heard some ladies say I would pop for Drake, and it just was a different connotation. You're not saying
if Drake heard that, he knows what I'm talking about.
I don't think he does. Hopefully, Jonathan Zaslow, a wrestling fan like yourself, knows what you're talking about. He's joining us on the other side.
He'll back me up.
This is ESPN 106.3's Theoretically Speaking, and the happy hours next.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 1063.
Don't let the rising temperatures catch you off guard. Hey, it's Colin Russo, and since 1960, John C. Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing has proudly served Palm Beach County, keeping homes cool and comfortable. Now's the time to upgrade your AC with great financing options. Plus, ask about the Cassidy Care Club, providing year-round peace of mind. Cassidy is part of our local community and supports organizations like the YMCA and the Palm Beach Gardens Youth Athletic Association. Keep cool with Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Find out more at CassidyAC.com.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast, professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Recently, I had the opportunity to sit down with Dr. Berkjan Akbanar, who operates out of Good Samaritan Health Center through the Palm Beach Health Network. And he explains there are a plethora of ways that you could rehab after surgery.
Mixing that treadmill up with stationary bike or elliptical, and then some resistance training as well to not exhaust the same set or constellation of muscles. We start all patients with physical therapy and then oral non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medications if they can tolerate it, and then we kind of escalate it in a stepwise manner to injections, and we have a variety of different viscosupplementation options, including steroid injections, gel injections, and things like PRP if necessary.
That was Dr. Berkjan Akbanar from the Palm Beach Network Physician Group. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362 or go online to pbhnphysiciangroup.com.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Are you ready for a global summer showdown? Monday, June 23rd at Hard Rock Stadium. Football legends collide at the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. Inter Miami and Palmeiras. Lionel Messi and Jordi Alba taking on Estevao Willian and Gustavo Gomez. Don't miss your chance to be part of history. Grab your tickets now at FIFA.com/tickets.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, proud partner of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
Tina, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hey, Colin, what's up?
How's the gym?
It's been great. I'm seeing results. My sports-certified Vitacost products have made a world of difference.
Oh, same. Isn't it great? Vitacost is basically the reason I've been able to keep up with Ironman training. Everything you need is in one place for my BCAAs, protein, and electrolytes. Best part, it's all clean and free of banned substances.
Go re-up on your supplements today. Visit Vitacost.com and use code ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game with Vitacost.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. This is the happy hour of Theoretically Speaking. It is June 26th, and we're fresh off of a great gift of being able to speak with Head coach of Michigan basketball, Dusty May. If you missed that, go back on YouTube and check it out. You remember him from FAU. You remember him from the Final Four run, talking about day 2 of the NBA draft and his expectations for some of his current and former players. So again, on YouTube at ESPN West Palm to check that out. If you're on YouTube already streaming this live, you can see our guy, C-Cat, on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos. And of course, we have national radio superstar, voice of the 305, and our friend on every Thursday, who, even though you're here in person, you've never seen it in person, we still got to play your open, Jonathan Zaslow.
You might know him as the Cooper City Rattlesnake. He's the human flamethrower of Miami sports radio.
Hey, you could be a maniac without being a jerk.
The preacher of the Pat Riley gospel.
They don't complain. They don't make excuses. This is the NBA. Deal with it.
The mayor of Dolphins Delusion.
Can the Bills offense keep up with the Dolphins offense?
And the only guy who can go from breaking down the Panthers power play to cutting a full-blown Ric Flair promo. Woo! Jonathan Zaslow is the voice of the 305.
Oh, yeah.
D.O.
What's happening?
Look at you. Look at us. Everybody's Christian's right over there. Look at, come on now. We're here in person together. I just got off the network.
Right.
What's up, Pops?
Yeah. That's your Pops. It's your Pops right here.
That's my son.
Yeah.
That's my son. What was the context of that again?
I accidentally called you Dad.
Yeah.
My phone autocorrected ZAS.
Oh, that's right. In a text. That's right. That's
Dad.
Right. That's right. Yeah, well, that's my son, my son.
I wish you would have just left it at I accidentally called you Dad, and we just kept going. For anybody listening for the first time, like, what the hell is going on there? No, Zaz is not actually C-Cat's dad. He just texted him that and then waited a whole day before he corrected it.
That's right.
Almost seeming remorseful in the back end. Did you text him Happy Father's Day at least?
No, I didn't.
It was so weird where it was like hours later. It's like, I didn't mean to call you Dad. I'm like, yeah, I know you didn't mean, I know. I know. It's
to clarify.
The other side of it was there were 2 misspellings in the text he sent you, and he corrected
the one that was not the dad one.
I remember.
Part.
That's right. I remember. I did notice that, and I thought that was weird.
Like calling your teacher mom.
Oh, we've all done that. That's always embarrassing. We've all done that before.
It's tough. And you know what? I have an even worse one. It's probably going to make me sound like an insignificant man, but one time I accidentally called my wife mom. Yeah.
I've never done that, but that
was worse.
I could see that happened.
That was worse, and she would not let me let go of it.
No, it could be worse. You could call your wife a different name of a woman in your life who was not a family member.
That would be the absolute worst.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That's bad.
We're just naming bad scenarios here. Like, let's not speak this into existence.
Yeah.
Speaking of bad scenarios, this I thought was going to be a bad scenario, but Zaz C-Cat said you would have his back on this. So we were talking about Drake for some odd reason, and C-Cat said that he would pop for Drake. What does that mean to you as a wrestling fan? C-Cat said you would be able to help me with this.
It means he'd get excited if he saw him or if he heard him. He'd get excited. That's
audibly and physically.
He would pop.
Yeah, if you pop, that means you got excited.
Do y'all use it? And is that like a wrestling specific thing?
Yeah. Like these days in pro wrestling, when you're at a show and Rhea Ripley's music hits, she's a massive star. When Rhea Ripley is coming to the ring, she gets a massive pop.
Okay.
That's how you use that.
What you say, though, so if you were talking, somebody was like, yo, you're a big Undertaker fan, you'd be like, heck yeah, I'd pop for him.
Yeah. Like if you're talking wrestling, hey, man, did you see when, Undertaker returned? Like, I was sitting on the couch. I popped for that. Yeah, that's like wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, that was the issue. I'm not a wrestling fan, and I heard him say that I am a hip-hop and rap fan.
Yeah.
And oftentimes when somebody says they would pop for Drake in rap terms,
that means you'd get very excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. And I like that.
I speak that language.
Okay. Thank you. You also speak a language that is unfamiliar to us here on Theoretically Speaking because we had to go through and arbitrate a debate that we've been having for the past week or so on ESPN Radio and here on ESPN 106.3 when you made a prediction before the NBA Finals that the Oklahoma City Thunder would win. In how many games, you said? But you didn't.
Well, I said in 4 games.
Okay, so what did you say? What was your prediction?
Thunder in 4.
Thunder in 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said Thunder in 4, and then Chris Canty.
I was on ESPN.com, okay, and ESPN.com, they put together, their expert picks.
Yes.
I love the expert picks. Anytime that my team is playing in a big game, a playoff game, I always love going to ESPN.com and I check out the expert picks because I want to see who's sus. Obviously, if you pick against my team, you sus.
Yeah.
All right. So I love the expert picks. Well, I was asked, because obviously I'm an expert, I was asked to give my pick for the finals. And so I gave Thunder in 4. Go ahead.
Nice. Okay, so your expert opinion was Thunder in 4. Which means a lot of people tell that. They were like, yeah, I'm excited. It's Thunder in 4. I'm with Zaz.
Yeah.
Chris Canty from Unsportsmanlike, 6 to 10 a.m. here, Super Bowl champ. He said Pacers in 7.
Right. He was wrong. Yeah, he picked the Pacers. I mean, if he picked the wrong team, he was wrong.
So he was wrong. Now, do you consider yourself wrong?
No, no. When they send me the email and they say, "Hey, can you give us your NBA Finals pick and also tell us how many games?" They don't say, "Hey, can you give us how many games you think the finals are going to go?" And oh, by the way, who you think is going to win? No, it's who do you think is going to win?
Okay.
And then sprinkle a little sauce on top of that by giving us how many games.
But if you just replied Thunder, you'd get a follow-up,
Yes.
hey, I need the games.
Yes. Well, yeah, be like, also how many games? I can't be the only one who doesn't pick the games, but I'm certainly more right than Chris Canty was. If we were to go back right now, let me ask something. If we were to go back right now onto ESPN.com with their expert picks from the NBA Finals, and you want to count, you want to see how many people got the right answer, how many people got the right pick for the finals, would you be looking how many people had the number 7 on their pick first and then see if they picked the right team? Or would you see how many people picked the Thunder?
So here's what I would say. The Thunder were one of the heaviest favorites in the history of the
Canty
NBA
still got
Finals.
it wrong.
But look, you were further from being right than Canty was because you picked like there's no further away from the truth you could have gotten when the series went 7 than picking 4. You
While
could
the
have said
series
3.
was active, but now the series is over, and we look back, the person who's closer to being right is obviously the person who picked the right team, because you can't be right if you don't pick the right team.
Did you get an email from the ESPN.com, like the person that puts together the expert
Yeah, they
picks thing?
congratulated me for my boldness.
or did they message you right after game 1 and said you're out?
No, but I did get messages. It's like, all right, the only person out.
Like you were the first one wrong.
I was the only one who had Thunder in 4.
Right.
But I also know how the game is played, all right? If I were to pick, a lot of people pick Thunder in 5. Like my partner Amber Wilson, she picked Thunder in 5. That takes no guts to pick the Thunder in 5, Thunder in 6.
I picked the Thunder in 5.
Okay, because clearly you thought the Thunder are a far better team.
Yes.
Show a little guts. Pick them in 4. That's what I did. I had Thunder in 4, and guess what would have happened? If the Thunder won it in 4, I'd have been the only person who had it. Show a little guts.
All right, so you're saying if the Thunder won in 4, you would have been the only person to have it. So you needed 3 things to not happen for your prediction to be right, which were those 3 Pacers wins.
Correct.
Canty needed 1 thing to happen, and that was just the Pacers to win Game 7. He was 1 win away, probably 1 Achilles away from winning the prediction.
Okay.
He was more correct. That's all I'm saying.
You can't be. This is an unbelievable precedent you're trying to set where you could be correct about something and your team lost.
I mean,
how can you be correct if your team
his
lost?
His prediction was correct because he knew the series would go 7.
Canty won a Super Bowl with the New York Giants against the New England Patriots. If I was asked for my prediction in that Super Bowl and I picked the Patriots with the exact same score that the Giants ended up winning, was I more right? I mean, I got the exact score. I got the right score. Giants won, but who cares? I got the score on the nose. Take that Super Bowl championship away from Canty.
You know what?
I was right.
If you put that prediction out there, and then I was a bettor and I said, I'll pick the Giants to cover then because of Zaslow's expert opinion, then you would have gotten that person some money.
Listen,
but nobody made any money off Thunder in 4. You got absolutely robbed at the books.
Getting the number of games right is what's most important. Then you know what? In October, when ESPN.com asks me again, because I'm an expert, who I have in the World Series, I'm only giving the number of games.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to pick a team. I'm just going to give the games. Yeah, that's the only thing that matters, apparently.
If you would have did that in the finals, you would have been extremely wrong as well. C-Cat, you felt strongly about this as well. I think there's no way that you actually feel you have a strong case about this, given that your prediction died after Game 1 and Canty's was alive all the way until there was about 5 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, if people tailed Canty in different ways other than just the series winner, they made a lot more money than if they tailed Jonathan Zaslow.
There is no way Canty is more right. Let me ask you something. If you went to Indianapolis today and you said, hey, everybody, do you feel like you won the NBA Finals? And then you also go to Oklahoma City and do the exact same thing. What do you think the turnout's going to be?
What do you mean? Clearly, you're asking a different question.
Oh, so I was closer to being
you
right.
You can't
then.
change the goalposts.
I'm not moving any goalposts.
Yeah, you're asking a different question.
I was asked to
is
pick
which
who I think is going
right?
to win the finals, and my answer was Thunder, and Canty's answer was Pacers.
And then how many games?
Well,
that's the semantics.
Put a little sprinkle a little sauce on that.
Since Canty's not here to defend himself, I will you know what? I'll give it to you, Zaslow. You were wrong. Canty was right. Can we move on then to something that I'm intrigued by because I think you have a little insight in this. For the Miami Heat, who hopefully are not done this offseason, but clearly do not feel like a team that has made any steps closer to being a contender in the East. What should the pulse of the fan be? Because you are the pulse of the 305 here.
Oh, they're allowed to be mad. But you're
Kuminga.
mad.
Kuminga's on the way.
You're allowed to be mad until they actually do something. Now, I think they're going to do something. This idea that, you're freaking out because they didn't get Kevin Durant. I didn't get the memo that the entire offseason hinges on the Heat getting a 37-year-old Kevin Durant. Would I have liked the Heat to get Durant? Yeah, it'd have been cool, but I'm certainly not crying over not getting Kevin Durant. I like the Heat have several weeks starting now to make moves, and maybe I'm being naive. I give the team the benefit of the doubt that once you traded away Jimmy Butler, you are admitting, you are telling everybody, okay, major change is coming, all right? And I would like to give them the runway to attempt to make the major change. The entire offseason does not hinge on 37-year-old Kevin Durant. So I'm willing to allow them to make trades.
They do feel like a team that if they don't make a move this offseason,
that'll be really frustrating.
It's wearing thin on the fan base, including you and I, who want the Heat to be good. I do, if I were to be sober-minded about it, I have to agree with you that maybe we were not a Kevin Durant away from winning the title this year.
Of course not. And also, okay, so the Heat would have had to give up a lot of their depth to get Kevin Durant. And then you're like, okay, well, who cares about who cares about these pieces? Kevin Durant. Okay, fine. Look what we just saw in the NBA Finals. You see the way that we're building teams these days, all right? It's not about just acquiring 3 superstar players because, heck, Kevin Durant was just traded off a team that tried to do exactly that. You look at Indiana. They have 1 star player, and then you're like 6, 7, 8 guys deep. It's a different way that you're building teams in today's NBA. So let me ask you, the Heat would have traded all of those pieces, all those depth pieces, whether you liked them or not. I'll ask you, do you think a team, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, and Kevin Durant, is that team win anything? Because I don't think so.
I mean, the East is absolutely wide open.
Yeah, it's wide open.
I'm seeing people tell me on my Orlando Magic championship pick these days, which I just said in just. But
it's not about getting the 3 stars and then we'll fill out the rest of the roster with minimum contracts like the Heat did when they had LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh.
Different level.
League's not like that anymore. It's not like that. So
I agree with you that it's to be fair, when Shams made the report last night during the draft talking about the Heat shifting their focuses now to signing or doing a signing trade with the Warriors to get Jonathan Kuminga.
I think it'd be cool. I'd be all right. That's all right.
I'm kind of in on it.
Yeah, I'd be cool with it.
I'm kind of in on it, especially if you're not giving away much and you're just hoping that he does the James Harden thing where it's like he was in a role that didn't show his stardom and then he pops out with Eric Spoelstra. Let's see.
Yeah, no, I'd be in on that. You're giving Duncan Robinson, you're giving a couple second-round picks.
Yeah.
That gets that done because for Golden State, they're not going to keep him. They're obviously not going to keep him. I mean, they benched him in the playoffs. They clearly don't want him. He doesn't want to be there. So at least, all right, you get a couple second-round picks in return. And, Duncan Robinson, who would obviously fit in very, very nicely with Golden State. I could see the Heat being interested in Jonathan Kuminga.
I'm down with it as well because also I've just been beaten to a pulp. I know Giannis Antetokounmpo is not heading down to South Florida. We did earlier worst to first here, talking about NFL division winners. The last worst to first to actually complete it was 2 years ago when the Houston Texans in the AFC South went from 3-13 to 10-7.
Dolphins did it one year.
When was that? Like 08?
When they won the division in 08.
Yeah, okay, bet. Yeah, so the Dolphins did it in 08. That was the Ronnie Brown Wildcat year?
Yeah, that's when we learned that Ronnie Brown was a lefty.
Because you had no reason to know that beforehand. Yeah. Lefty quarterbacks running in the Dolphins' blood. Who do you think has the best shot? And you can't say the San Francisco 49ers because clearly the Niners, who are riddled by injuries, I think they have the best odds right now on Hard Rock Bet to win the NFC West. Who do you think has the best shot? Because I'm going with the Tennessee Titans. And it's not just about how good I think they can be. I think the AFC South can be had.
Okay, So no San Francisco, which feels like the go-to. Tennessee's not a terrible choice. Certainly don't like Indianapolis, don't like Jacksonville. Maybe Houston has a bad year. Tennessee's not bad, but you know what? I'm going to go Chicago.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go Chicago because I'm very high on Caleb Williams. I thought they were going to be a playoff team last year. I was obviously wildly wrong about that. But new coach, second year of Caleb Williams, who I still think is going to be great. I certainly think Minnesota is going to take a step back. I don't believe in Jordan Love. So it really comes down to, wow, Zaslow, you think Chicago's going to overtake a 15-win Detroit team? Probably not, all right? But you're asking me which do I think is the best chance of last to first. So I'll go Chicago.
So that was my main issue with the Bears was specifically that the division's too good.
Yeah.
Like you had 2 14-win teams last year duking it out for the crown. I don't know if the Bears can leap into that place.
Right.
Year 1, Ben Johnson, and also year 2, Caleb Williams, who didn't really show me much last year. But then also on top of that, I too was lockstep with you on the Bears last year, and I think I got actually banned from pro Bears takes on the airwaves as much as I was singing the tunes of Caleb Williams. So I got to wait it out. I got to sit this one out. Do you think, like the Cam Ward experience, you're Kane's guy as well?
I think he's going to be awesome.
Everything that comes out of Titans camp, I get like the hair stands up on the back of my neck. I'm excited.
I think he's going to be awesome. It's a weak division. It's an historically weak division, so it's a really good spot for him. Yeah, it's funny because I don't think there's been – I can't remember a year where a number 1 pick got less attention.
Right.
I understand the lack of attention on draft night. Shedeur Sanders really took over things. But we're now in a spot where we know Shedeur Sanders is very likely not going to play at the start of the season. And so forget about that. There's not a whole lot of attention being paid to Cam Ward, which, okay, fine. No big deal. Like, let him show it on the field. I think he will. I think they're going to be really good.
I'd pop for him.
Or he's going to be really good.
Yeah, I'd pop for Cam Ward.
You would pop for him.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
For sure.
Yeah, that makes sense the way you're using it.
Thank you.
85-yard touchdown. You'll pop for Cam Ward.
I'd pop for that.
You pop for him.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, that works. All right, I'm just trying to get used to saying this. Is my newly minted wrestling vernacular that I'm gaining right here.
You're always trying to expand your vocabulary.
Yeah, man, it's my thing.
Wrestling has a very carny-like language.
Yeah.
And that's part of it.
A carnival? Like
yeah.
Why?
Because it's essentially where the language came from. Like it's back in the day, this carnival type atmosphere. Yes, it's very carny-like.
More of a sport, pro wrestling or competitive eating, like the hot dog contest.
Pro wrestling, dog. Don't give me that Kobayashi
Thank you.
crap.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you. I was fighting on your behalf as well.
Joey Chestnut. I don't care about those guys.
I'm sick of seeing real articles about whether or not this dude is competing in hot dog eating contests.
Disgusting. I want to vomit.
Come on. I was sure it wouldn't be that big of a deal if it wasn't on July 4th. Jonathan Zaslow joining us here on Theoretically Speaking here on ESPN 106.3. Zaslow, who's just coming off of the airways with Joe and Q. What were y'all talking about on there? I know you had to get some NFL talk in. I saw you going on your first take stuff.
Yeah. I do first take tryouts when I host with Joe Ford and Ball. So did I do NFL there? What did I say NFL-wise? Did I?
Well, you really were you seemed like you were barking back on a pro-Lakers take from Marquise Morris.
It's really just I'm debating, all right?
Yeah.
I'm trying out for first take. That's what I do. I don't even necessarily believe what I'm saying.
That's part of it.
I dominated that that debate. No, we did. It was like all NBA drafts. It was NBA draft, and it was Celtics, and it was Knicks, and a little bit of Phoenix Suns. Whole lot of NBA draft today. Yeah.
C-Cat said something earlier today that he doesn't believe. And he said it when we talked worst to first in the NFL with division winners. Catman, who's your worst to first team? I got the Titans. Zaz has the Bears.
So I wouldn't pick this team out of any of these teams, but if I were to place hard-earned money on a division winner ticket, especially because of the value, I've already said they're going to make the playoffs. You might as well win the whole division. The New York Giants. That's who I have. Worst to first.
I mean, there's nothing like a desperate GM and a desperate coach and
pressure makes diamonds.
Russell Wilson and Jackson Dart.
I think it's a pretty good chance they finish last again. Pretty good chance.
20-1 odds.
Yeah.
I mean, dude.
It's a good division.
The Commanders went 12-5 last year and could not go worst to first because the Eagles were there. And you think that the Jackson Dart, Russell Wilson, maybe Tommy DeVito-led Giants can do it?
Iron sharpens iron. You know it pissed off that locker room seeing Saquon the confetti fall down on him. Oh. They got something to prove this year.
They will not win 6 games.
They will win 10, at least.
They
are going to make the playoffs.
Okay, you said at least. All right, that's fine.
They're going to make the playoffs. The value comes in winning the division.
All right.
I just want one quarterback injury away from cashing that ticket.
You would need 2 quarterback injuries. You would need 2. You might need 3 because we haven't even mentioned the Cowboys. I'm like,
go big or go home. Good for you. See, this is what I told you when I made my Thunder pick. Anybody can say Thunder's in 5. Thunder in 4. That's what you're doing here. Get yourself noticed.
But isn't going – I hate to rehash this again.
No, you know what? Go back to it.
We're going to go back to square one
go back
here.
To it.
I mean, Pacers in 7 is a lot more bold than Thunder in 4.
It is.
And it's also a lot more wrong.
It's clearly not the case. Jonathan Zaslow, if you want to hear more slightly incorrect but expert takes from Zaslow, plus more from the 305, where can they find your stuff?
Zaslow Show 2.0 every day, Monday through Friday. Everything 305, everything South Florida related. We got you covered. Just search Zaslow Show 2.0 wherever you get your podcast. Like, rate, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Tell your mother I say hello. I love you a long time. And so, Zaslow Show 2.0, and every episode is presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. You're involved in any kind of an accident, you're dealing with a personal injury, they will get you the compensation you deserve. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, 800-747-FREE, 800-747-3733.
Where'd the tell your mother I said hello thing came from?
Like you want me to tell you where I got?
Where'd you get it from? Yeah,
it is.
I like it.
It is Mark Wahlberg in a Saturday Night Live skit.
Okay, I like it. Somebody tell the number 2 overall pick in the NBA draft that. That is Jonathan Zaslow. That is
guys.
C-Cat. Thank
Good
you
to
for your
see
time. And on the other side, we continue the happy hour. Tina pulls up. Theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Introducing DQ Grill & Chill's new sauced and tossed buffalo chicken strips. A basket of 100% all-white meat seasoned chicken strips, now being served with blue cheese or ranch dressing dips. The blizzard of the month is the Strawberry Cheesecake Blizzard, a new flavor for the summer, featuring a creamy blend of strawberry cheesecake pieces in vanilla soft serve, dipped in strawberry topping. DQ Grill & Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
Improve your golf game fast at the all-new Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center has the facilities, tools, and coaching you need. Enjoy the best facilities in the area with an expansive chipping and putting area, practice bunkers, a huge putting green, plus a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 hitting bays, cutting-edge analysis technology, and more. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center in the heart of Palm Beach County off I-95 and the Turnpike. Find out more at KaiserGolfCenter.com.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Elevate your game, elevate your experience. Discover the Club at Lost Lake. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and I...
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manso's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manso's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
We also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
A resort destination beyond compare, yet conveniently close to home. The Breakers Palm Beach offers everything you desire with the service you deserve in a breathtaking oceanfront setting. Immerse yourself in unparalleled seaside glamour and enjoy all the Breakers has to offer as you create lasting memories with those who matter most. The best part, you don't have to travel far to feel worlds away. Visit thebreakers.com or call 1-800-BREAKERS today.
Tina, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hey, Colin, what's up?
How's the gym?
It's been great. I'm seeing results. My sports-certified Vitacost products have made a world of difference.
Oh, same. Isn't it great? Vitacost is basically the reason I've been able to keep up with Ironman training. Everything you need is in one place for my BCAAs, protein, and electrolytes. Best part, it's all clean and free of banned substances.
Go re-up on your supplements today. Visit Vitacost.com and use code ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game with Vitacost.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey!
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, imported by William Grant & Sons, Inc.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
It is the happy hour. What a jam-packed show. And we're not even done, man. After this, we got Russo and Rizzo from 4 to 6. And then after that, 6 to 7. Specialty show is theoretically speaking on the road. But where are we going? CK, where are we going?
We're going to Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium, and I'm going to play third base.
Damn right you're going to play.
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually,
I'm going to walk up to the dugout and say, you guys need another? Put me in.
And what do you think they'll say?
They'll say, what's your experience? And I'll tell them, college, actually.
Oh.
Say, don't look up my name and my stats.
Show them a picture, though. Just show them a picture. The picture can be deceiving. Yeah, that's right. Tonight, for Thirsty Thursdays at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium, we're taking the show on the road. Mets at Hammerheads. Mets at Hammerheads tonight. First pitch is 6:30. We'll be there from 6 to 7. And you know what? It's Thirsty Thursday. So, Tina, as you make your first appearance today on the show, what are the odds on a Thirsty Thursday that we're sticking around past the show?
100%.
100%. Hundun.
A few of us will be going there today.
I was about to say, I saw you sent out an email to the office, but I didn't see what the replies were like. Do we have some more ESPN West Palm teammates tailing us?
10 people. 10. There's 10 of us going.
Tension.
Yeah.
It's too many.
Tension.
Can we cut some people?
Yeah.
We need everyone.
We all want to go see you two at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium and enjoy a Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah, but
and
we
maybe
don't get to enjoy it.
Yeah, we don't get to enjoy it until after we get off the air.
Wait, so we were allowed to drink during the show?
No, you can't do that.
Okay.
So what's up with that?
Well, I'll wait till 7 p.m. till you guys can.
You'll wait in solidarity?
I will wait till 7 p.m., yes.
You ain't going to wait that long to get your hands on a Dean Dog.
No way. I'm going to be getting a hot dog, a Dean Dog, immediately when I get there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thirsty Thursday, that means $1, $2, $3 drink specials at the ballpark.
Yeah.
Let's go Hammerheads, man.
Yeah.
Mets suck.
Yeah.
I hate the Mets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're a Yankees fan, too, so this works.
Exactly.
I don't have anything against the Mets per se.
And Jupiter's better than Port St. Lucie.
Oh, so
They're
much
showing
better.
a real city. This is where you come to relax and play baseball.
I think that Mr. Met, the mascot, is overrated.
Well, yeah, they had to fire one of them. He has a wife. Come on, dude.
He has
live
a
a little.
wife?
Yeah, there's Mrs. Met.
There's Mrs. Met now?
Uh-huh.
What's the difference? Does she have like a wig?
Probably
it's a baseball
female.
head.
Probably female.
Probably.
Probably.
We don't know that, though. It's 2025. Does it have a wig on? Does Mrs. Met have a wig?
I'm gonna do some digging, but I know for a fact there's Mr. and Mrs. Met.
If you have to put a wig on top of a baseball head, you have the wrong priorities over there with your organization. So
yeah, she does have a wig on, kind of a bob.
Okay, Bob.
Oh, that's a whack wig too. Is it a bob? Oh my goodness,
it's a bob.
It's Bob.
It's got a little hair coming down the side.
Bobs are in right now.
I know. I mean, all right, whatever. So there's a Mr. and Mrs. Met, but the Hammerhead's gonna take them down tonight at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. So I'm excited.
Easy.
I'm excited. What do you mean easy?
No, easily. We'll take them
easy.
down.
I thought you was telling me like relax.
Take it
or
easy,
something.
yeah,
Like, is
right?
it like I thought he looked at the standings and was like, oh no, it's gonna be a problem. So Tina, when the Hammerheads hit a home run, would you pop for that?
Would I pop for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
And I'm scared to answer until you tell me.
Thank you. That was a proper response, given that I don't know what the hell that means either. C-Cat earlier was referencing Drake.
Okay.
And he said, I don't remember what I wish I could play it back.
Drake showed up to a Morgan Wallen concert. I think it was in Toronto. No, it was in Houston. Why was Drake in Houston?
It was in Houston.
It was in Houston.
Yeah.
And they were doing the walkout, and then like from outside the camera frame, in comes Drake while Morgan Wallen's walking in to come to the stage, and the crowd went nuts. They popped, and I said, "Wow, I would have popped for that."
You would say I would have popped for Drake.
Yes, I would have popped.
Go crazy?
I would have popped for Drake.
So you're like, "Oh yeah, Morgan Wallen. Okay, that's cool. Came over for the show. Drake, whoa!"
Yeah, okay.
That's a pop apparently,
Okay.
but I've never heard it used as a verb like that. Like I'm a pop for him. Like I would pop for him.
Neither have I.
Yeah, so I would not pick this up, but apparently this is a wrestling thing because Jonathan Zaslow, who was just with us from ESPN Radio and Zaslow Show 2.0, who also is a wrestling fan, agrees with C-Cat that is a way to term you showing excitement for a certain person or action.
You popped for that.
Yeah, you pop for it.
I'm gonna pop for that.
I believe that was I believe that was the same thing the ladies on that boat with Stephon Diggs said.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
That was the impasse that we were at during the show. Theo is still not 100% okay with the terminology and the phrase.
That doesn't flow for me.
Doesn't flow.
No.
Doesn't work.
I won't be saying that.
I will not be saying it either, but at least I know what it means when C-Cat says it. I'm just trying to use it today. You'll never hear me say I will pop for anything again after today, but I'm using it enough so it's ingrained in my mind so that when C-Cat says it, I won't have the same, like I kind of was a little nervous when he said it about Drake earlier. So I'm good now.
I'll pop when I get a Dean Dog.
Yeah, me too.
Would you pop for a Dean Dog?
I don't know.
No comment. We'll have to see tonight.
At the guys walking up and down the aisles. Get your Dean Dogs here. Get your Dean Dogs. I'd pop for a Dean Dog. You're a fool if you wouldn't. Whoa, give me a Dean Dog.
Yo. Oh, C-Cat, man. The cat is out the hat right now. This guy is going crazy. So I'm glad that, again, if you're a fan, if you're good people, if you got nothing else to do and you want to have a great time with us tonight, Thursdays at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. Great time at the ballpark. It actually starts, I guess, gates open at 5, and the game starts at 6:30. We'll be in there from 6 to 7 doing a live show, and then Cat will be popping for Dean Dogs and drink specials all the way through. And we have $1, $2, $3 drink specials.
Yes, and if you see Theo Dorsey with a alcoholic beverage in his hand, ask him. I thought it was dry June. Did you ask him to say that? Because he said it on the air.
Yeah, I said
that I'm doing a dry June. And I asked why, and he didn't really have a good answer.
I thought you were just doing a dry month.
Yeah.
And that was mid-May to mid-June.
Yeah, that's what we'll
don't
say.
cover for
We'll
him.
say
That's
that.
not what happened.
That's what we'll do. Yeah.
Yeah.
She knows.
Mid-May, you were going crazy on Memorial Day weekend.
What are you talking about, man? That's my birthday. You can't count my birthday. You count my birthday against me? It's crazy. Tina, since dry June is over with, I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't have a cocktail of the day in the happy hour.
You confuse people. It's June 26th.
Oh, my dad's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Yeah.
Well, the cocktail of the day is NBA draft themed, and it is called the Bank Shot.
I like that.
You've got Crown Royal Peach,
Nice.
lemon juice, pineapple, passion fruit. I don't know how to say this word still. Orza?
Guava.
Orza? No.
Cognac.
It's cognac.
Cognac.
And it's not in the Bank Shot.
Not cognac. You
Tiki
sound like a
bitters.
nerd.
And then you garnish with a pineapple quarter.
I'd like some cognac. They wouldn't even serve it to you if you said that. Cognac, please. That's what you would sound like saying that, C-Cat. All right, I'm sorry. I missed the last part of those ingredients. I just didn't like that he said cognac.
The orza, that's how you say it. Then you have tiki bitters, and you garnish with a pineapple quarter.
It's called the Bank Shot.
Bank Shot.
Woo! Bank Shot. Cocktail of the day. Serving it up. Teddy's way.
I'm a big Crown fan.
What do you mean?
Like Crown Royal whiskey.
Crown Royal. Okay. Do you do a flavored Crown or you just go straight Crown?
My go-to if I'm at a casino.
Yeah.
And like they're not gonna have the hard cider I normally drink, and I don't drink beer, but I know that drink is comped. I don't have to worry about what's what's call, what's high dollar. I say Crown and Coke.
That's a good one.
I say Crown and Diet. It's a little bit sweeter.
You say Crown and Diet?
Yeah. Tastes better.
here.
DC rocks, man. You hate on DC every chance you get, and it has not gone unnoticed.
DC?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm more of just a C guy. Just a C. Maybe a little
Why are you wiping
CC.
your nose? You were talking about different Coke?
No, I was scratching. No, I had an itch. I had a little itch.
I thought you were talking about different Coke.
No.
I had a bad experience with
Coke?
Crown. With Crown.
Oh, Crown.
Nope.
Nashville.
And I haven't been able to drink it since.
We did get a message in the YouTube chat. It says, I can't imagine Tina popping for Bean Dogs. It's actually a Dean dog, like Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. I can't imagine her popping for that.
You know my hot dog thing?
She's a big hot dog.
I love hot dogs.
Yeah.
You want to know a weird story?
Yes.
When I joined this radio station back in August of 2022.
Really?
I heard all about Dean Dogs. Dean Dogs this. Dean Dogs that. And an everyday host on this station, his name is Dean Thomas.
Yes.
And I was very confused. I thought that there was a hot dog named after Dean Thomas for about a full year.
Wow.
They're like, no, they're talking about Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium, Dean Dog from that. So, yeah.
It's not even a crazy thought for you to have, though.
Yeah, that's not crazy.
Yeah, I respect you. And did he feel proud that you thought that?
This is the first time I brought this up.
Wow.
I've never actually said it to Dean Thomas.
Got to get Dean in here.
It wouldn't shock me either because Dean Thomas and Mike Bauer, GM, they know each other very well. Like, they grew up together.
They went to high school together.
Yeah. So that wouldn't surprise me either if Mike Bauer did give Dean Thomas a Dean Dog.
Right.
Like, he named it after him.
I think that, you know what? We should get a variation of the Dean Dog named after Dean Thomas, and we should pitch that to Mike Bauer tonight when we go to Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium.
Yes.
What would be on a Dean Thomas hot dog?
I don't even know. He would have crazy things, I feel like.
Yeah, I was about to say. I probably wouldn't even want it.
I'm going to give him a ring. Maybe he'll join us.
Yeah, give him a ring. Give him a ring right now. And then as he gives Dean Thomas that ring, the cocktail of the day was clearly brought to us by one of our magnificent friends. Was it F45?
Of course it was.
Of course it was.
Started my day there. I did an afternoon class yesterday. Haven't done one of those in a little bit. Did it with one of our teammates here. And it was a nice little switch up.
Yeah.
Again, there's so many different times throughout the day. If I had the day off, when we had a day off last week, I was like, I'm going to do a 7:15 class. I'm going to sleep in.
Nice.
There's times early in the morning, like 5:15 when I usually go, or maybe an 8:30 class. Maybe you can go during lunchtime, noon, in the evening, 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., whenever works for your schedule. 45-minute class. You're in, you're out. You also, maybe you want to take it up a notch. Saturday classes, they're an hour, and they kick your butt.
Wow.
Kick your butt.
F60, do they call those? Is it a special branding or still F45?
Just still F45.
Okay, cool. Check.
Just still F45. Palm Beach Garden Studio. Check them out on Instagram to see the summer specials that they've got going on. It's a 45-minute workout. You don't got to think about it. You walk in. They tell you what to do. There's screens there to show you all the exercises, a timer so you don't have to figure it out yourself. Go to f45training.com to find a location near you.
A quick breaking news right now as CCAT tries to get Dean Thomas on the line to tell us what will be on a Dean Thomas dog. Former Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker has been suspended for the first 10 weeks of the 2025 regular season after the NFL found that he violated its personal conduct policy, the league announced Thursday. That courtesy of ESPN. And Justin Tucker had some of those Deshaun Watson-style allegations hanging over him. So 10-game suspension for the Ravens kicker.
I was going to say 10 games sounds very familiar. They're deeming his actions to be one game less offensive than Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson got suspended 11 games for the allegations made upon him.
He's probably going to, what do you call it?
Retire?
Well, he should. It's about that time, and he's not been that good. But I was going to say, appeal. He's probably going to appeal, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but he also...
Didn't they draft a kicker?
They did.
Oh,
the Ravens did draft a kicker this
year. He's cooked. It was accused of sexual misconduct by 16 massage therapists, so that was a few less than Deshaun.
So once you get into the 20s, that's when they tack on game number 11.
The NFL is so ridiculous with its rulings. Did we get Dean?
I left him a voicemail.
You left him a voicemail?
He sent me the voicemail once, and then it was even quicker the second time. I don't think Dean knows that this is the phone number for ESPN West Palm.
He thinks this is
his phone sometimes is on Do Not Disturb. But if you called a second time, it would have rang and gone through.
I did.
So yeah, so he might have actually ignored you.
I did leave him a voicemail. Maybe that triggers something for him to call us back real quick. We only have 7 minutes left from the show.
What did you say on the voicemail though?
Hey Dean, CCAT here from ESPN West Palm.
No, that's so embarrassing. You have to say from ESPN West Palm. You couldn't just say CCAT. You think he knows multiple CCATs?
Dean has taken a lot of punches in his life. I don't want to assume that Dean automatically knows who one of his producers was for like 3 months.
He knows you very well.
When he has my contact information, I text him, he knows me. But on a name basis.
C-Cat?
On
You
a
think he
voice
doesn't know who
basis,
C-Cat is?
You misheard me.
He gifted you a UFC bag.
That's true.
He gifted you a bag. He came in the office with the intention to get you a UFC bag one day, and you think he doesn't know you by name?
So I continue the voicemail by saying, we're trying to find out what you would put in your hot dog. All right, call me back. Bye.
That is, he probably is never. That's the last we're going to hear from Dean Thomas. But you'll hear more from us on the other side of the break. That is C-Cat. That's Tina. I'm embarrassed of C-Cat's behavior, but I'm Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
The pricing you've been waiting for is back at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Get a new 2026 Kia Sportage for $249 a month, a 2025 Kia K4 for $199 a month, or a 2024 Kia Telluride for as low as $38,998. Save up to $11,000 off MSRP on select new Kias and get up to $6,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade-in. Job bringing home $350 per week? We want to approve your credit. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or visit Greenway Kia, westpalmbeach.com for the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. Make the most of your summer.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
With approval through KFA, stock number SG005991. MSRP $45,235. 24-month leases. K4 $39.99. Sportage $39.99 due at signing. 10,000 miles each per year. 0 security deposit plus tax tag and $9.99 admin fee. Discount includes all Kia factory rebates to dealer. Negative equity refinanced. Offers don't combine. Expires July 15, 25.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Introducing DQ Grill & Chill's new sauced and tossed buffalo chicken strips. A basket of 100% all-white meat seasoned chicken strips, now being served with blue cheese or ranch dressing dips. The blizzard of the month is the Strawberry Cheesecake Blizzard, a new flavor for the summer, featuring a creamy blend of strawberry cheesecake pieces in vanilla soft serve, dipped in strawberry topping. DQ Grill & Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake.
So let it rip.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Joining us right now on the Baptist Health Hotline is going to be Dean Thomas, former UFC savant, and current UFC coach. He's going to give us some insights onto what he would decorate his hot dog with?
Yeah.
The Baptist Health Hotline is joint pain affecting your quality of life at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery as well as new, less invasive treatments with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Dean Thomas joins us now. In a few hours, we'll be at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium enjoying some Dean's dogs. C-Cat let us know, Dean, that he thought Dean's dogs were named after you. Did he ever come clean to you about this?
He never came clean to me until right now when he just told me, but I'm glad he did. It lets me know where his mind is at when he's at these baseball games, for sure.
He's thinking about you when he's chowing down on hot dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he's thinking about me when he's chowing down on hot dogs, especially like right before he bites into it.
Oh my gosh, C-Cat. I guess C-Cat did say earlier he would pop for Drake, so this doesn't surprise me. Dean, I'm curious. What would be on a Dean dog that's named after you? Like, do you have a special thing you do to hot dogs, or?
Well, I'm not a Chicago guy, so I'm not going with the mustard. So I'm going with the ketchup first of all. Okay. Every so often, I like a little bit of onions. Relish is always a good treat, but I want to increase my sales to white people, so I'm wrapping it in bacon.
Ooh, oh my gosh. I think you might have had – you know what? C-Cat.
We had bacon-wrapped hot dogs outside of Amaranth Bank Arena, and there was no white person in sight.
You're right. There was a black lady selling them, Dean.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
At a hockey game.
I'm thinking white people put bacon on everything, thinking I'm going to increase my sales to white people, and I was wrong on this all along.
Dean, it was at a hockey game, too, and the only customer that was white was C-Cat.
If you ever need insight on the white people, I'm your guy. I got the pulse.
I appreciate that, CK. I appreciate that.
Dean, another question. C-Cat, he thought he had to tell you he was C-Cat from ESPN West Palms. How many C-Cats do you know, and would you have known it was him if he didn't stay where he worked?
He didn't have to tell me that, man. There's only one C-Cat that's important, and that's C-Cat from ESPN West Palm.
And the C-Cat that thinks of you as he guzzles down Dean dogs at the ballpark. So I'm glad we can get
Sometimes
to that.
Two at a time every off-season, too.
Dean, we got to see you in person here soon when you're done traveling. Looking forward to catching up with you, and maybe we maybe we toast some Dean dogs at the stadium soon.
All right, guys. Y'all be good, man.
That's the homie, Dean Thomas, the world traveler, the ESPN UFC insider, and the coach as he talks, as he coaches people through. What was you about to say?
Tina didn't get a word in.
She didn't?
It's okay. I said bye, Dean.
A single word.
She did say
a
bye.
syllable.
That's okay.
That's a word.
That's my bestie.
Literally a word. Yeah, they talk all the time.
Yeah.
She's the only reason why we got Dean. You couldn't get him. Go in love, go in peace, go in joy. See you at the ballpark.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries